before Tinkerbell dies,
Hey,
and
Gary.
you got to bring that. I'm
Bring
Carrie.
the chat down there,
I'm
Gary.
Carrie the fairy. And if I die,
we
Nick has
just
to
went
bring back.
live, and you're starting to talk about Tinkerbell dying.
Wait, I didn't know Tinkerbell died. What the fuck?
She
I remember that.
She almost died, and he clapped. It was in Hook.
Okay, hey there, YouTubers. Welcome back to Beer
Hi,
Analysis
Nick.
with your host, Maxwell
Leaving.
Starr and Greg and Carrie, bringing it down. And we have... Go get your beer. All right, tonight we are doing a new one from Moosehead. Oh, imagine that. We're doing something from Moosehead. Let's take a look at something. Limey. Moosehead Chelada Lime and Salt. I keep wanting to call it Moose Lime. Sadly, it's not. Though I'll go into details in that later. First, let's start off with who we have with us, starting with Mr. Lee Russell of High Tide and Vibe and They Must Be Destroyed on Site podcast. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing very well. How you doing, Nick?
I'm not doing too bad.
Yeah. By the way, Jamie, when you watch the replay, I want you to isolate Carrie saying, "I'm Carrie the Fairy." I want that as a new meme in our chat.
Oh.
So let's do that. Let's make that happen.
Wait. Let's make sure it's able. I'm Carrie the Fairy.
No, don't. No, say it with more urgency. I'm Carrie the Fairy because you were
I'm Carrie the Fairy.
There you go.
I'm Carrie the Fairy.
I'm Carrie the Fairy. Yay!
I'm Carrie, and I'm a fairy.
Fairy on my wayward son.
Oh, you're gonna have a whole
God.
You are.
You're gonna have a whole soundboard to work with.
My kitchen manager at the Moose used to sing that damn song to me every morning when I walked in.
Wow, he was
Alrighty.
abusive.
Good time.
Jesus. All right. Speaking of which, abusive, let's go to Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hello.
Salted piss, no lime.
I'm
Nice green
here.
shirt.
I'm here with a matching shirt. Now, if anyone's doing green screen, they won't even be able to see any of this. I'll just be a floating head.
Yeah.
I
must comment that certificate is still up on your wall.
Well, you see, Scott, the reason is because Lady Lee, even though she's not here yet, continues to be better than Dan every single week. And this certificate will stay up until one day Dan can be better than Lady Lee. And I don't see it happening.
So to be fair, I mean, Dan didn't show up this week because he couldn't get the beer. He just passively aggressively pointed that out in the chat, posting other beers he can get. But I mean, I don't know when he's going to plan to actually show up on an episode, so I have no idea when he's going to get the beer or not.
He could potentially do the hometown thing, and I just got to comment. That's not the fairy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking boat.
Alrighty. So I assume Greg's doing fine. Let's put Carrie the Fairy up here.
Now I want to see
Jamie
superimpose Carrie's head on a fairy.
Yes.
Oh, we got to do it.
All right, let's see if I can get some nice. If you pause right now and clip it.
A fairy and a fairy.
That's right.
Both.
Jeez.
Yeah, I need to be a fairy operating a ferry or something like that.
There you go.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah, why not?
Steve
I'm doing good this evening. Nick, how are you?
I'm not doing too bad.
Good stuff. So that's intro's done, and I'm gonna grab the beer now because yeah.
Thank you, Fairy Man.
Hey, you got it.
All right, so first, let's go to the next comment. Ty is in the chat saying, "Hey, hi, big boy." Right in time for Scott to pop on the chat.
Wow.
Hi.
Hey, Scott. The fuzz, the moose.
The moose tonight, baby. Lots of things new. I'm in a new location. I'm in my basement now.
Got kicked into the living room.
I am now jobless as of today.
Yeah, your job.
Yes, my old job, working with the oil and gas industry. My new job is at Moosehead. Oh,
what?
Yes, that's right.
Yay,
I work
free
there
beer.
now.
And he got us this beer for free.
Slightly less.
You got a haircut and a real job.
Slightly less evil than the gas and oil industry.
Slightly.
You got a haircut and a real job now.
A haircut and a real job. I got the beard trimmed, the side trimmed, the top done.
I feel like Scott might have a bit of a bias as far as this review goes, pertaining to his brand new job. I don't know.
He hasn't started the job yet.
I don't start working yet. I start next week.
Mm-hmm. But if you were to come out today and say this is the shittiest beer I've ever had, would you start next week?
So I actually signed a contract saying I can't disparage the beer.
Nice. You know what? I work for the city of North Bay. I'm not allowed to disparage the city of North Bay.
I can do it, though. It's a piece of shit town.
There you go. Thanks.
I'm pretty sure I signed a contract saying I'm not allowed to disparage Nick. So, hi, Nick.
Well, you broke that contract a long time ago.
That's ever stopped you, Greg.
You threw that contract in the fire. What are you even talking about?
You threw that into an empty bag of McDonald's and lit it on fire.
All I could say is he should have laminated it.
Just like the award that Lady Lee won.
Plastic lamination beats fire is what you're trying to say right now? What?
All right.
Well, no, but it wouldn't have been as easy for me to rip it up.
Oh, okay, you just tore it. Okay, fair enough. I'll do that.
Yeah, I didn't go the fire route.
So thank you, Scott. I would talk to Lady Lee if she were by her computer.
I'm her biggest fan.
Yeah, no, she's got a big fan already right there.
Well, let's discuss what she's got. So she's got a Roy 33 jersey. That must be some sort of baseball player. She's got a fan. She's got a look. She's got a little boombox with cassette players on it.
Stereo.
Double
like
cassette player.
90s.
Dual
cassette.
Wow, so she could record illegal. She could buy a copy of Michael Jackson's Thriller
Home
on cassette
taping
tape,
is killing music.
and then make copies for all her friends. And look, she's got a box there. It looks like it's a Mastercraft. Is that? Am I reading that right?
My question is, what's the orange furry thing?
That's probably a butt plug tail.
That's the French tickler.
The French tickler.
Then. Okay, so
and then she has a little bit of confusion. She has a Montreal Canadiens WA jersey with a bunch of Toronto Maple Leafs posters behind her.
Well, that's not on her. That's on her stupid boyfriend.
Stupid boyfriend.
Wow. I mean, can't argue with that logic. Anyone who likes hockey is stupid.
Speaking of arguing with logic, all right, so let's go down to the history of tonight's beer. And where did my notepad go? Did I write everything in? We've already looked at Moosehead already on this channel, so while we don't really need to go into too much detail, I'll just give a quick recap of their brewery. So Moosehead's biggest success story began in the late 1990s when future IT superstar Scott Myers' loyal following single-handedly caused Alpine Lager's market share to increase 300%. Wait, no, that's the wrong history. All right, so Moosehead traces its origins to August 1867 when Susanna Olin started the Turtle Grove Brewery in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. After her death, control passed to her son, George W.C. Olin, in 1885, and through several fires, a sale to a British syndicate, and ultimately starting again from scratch, George W.C. led the company up until the Halifax explosion devastated the area in December of 1917. After that explosion, it was feared that rebuilding the city would take far too long for the company to survive, and in 1918, using the insurance money, George W.C. purchased the Seamon Jones Red Ball Brewery in St. John, New Brunswick, sending his son George B. Olin, who just returned from serving in the First World War, to run the brewery while he and other son Sidney rebuilt the Halifax Brewery. So that's the split between the Halifax Olins and the New Brunswick Olins. All right, so and it's kind of cool. It's all tied to the Halifax explosion. All right. Not that it was cool at the time.
Not a great time in Nova Scotia's history.
In 1928, the company changed its name to New Brunswick Breweries and expanded by purchasing the James Ready Brewery. We probably heard that name before. In nearby town of Fairvale, which is today the west side of St. John. While sorting through files from the buyout, George C. Oland discovered that one of James Ready's unused trademarks was the very Canadian-sounding Moosehead brand. In 1931, Moosehead Pale Ale was launched, becoming popular enough that the brewery changed its name, and for the last time in 1947 to Moosehead. Followed it up with the more popular and well-known classic Moosehead Lager for export to the U.S. market in 1977. So today, Moosehead is still a family-owned and operated company under the command of Andrew Olin, the CEO. Is that correct, Scott? Did I get that right?
Correct. I met him.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there you go. You had an
History
interview
never
with
ends.
him. And with Labatt, Molson, and Sleeman's all under foreign ownership, is currently the largest independently owned and operated brewery under Canadian control. The brewery is still located at the original site of the James Ready Brewery on St. John's West Side. And fun fact, I've actually been to do Scott's work more times than he has this month. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's soon going to change, Nick. So
It's
shut
soon
up.
going to change.
And it's going to change really fast.
It's going to change really. It's going to change within a week.
He hasn't really technically started the job yet.
I actually feel that that's
Weird
challenge
flex.
accepted from Nick.
Yes. Yeah,
Exactly.
we might
I'm gonna
have
go
to
there twice
keep
a
a
week
tally, you know. Yeah.
All right. How much working from home do you have to do from the
2 days?
Seriously?
Oh,
That's cool.
Oh, he's actually
All right.
considering it now.
yeah. Nick
right.
might be able to beat that.
All right. In 2018, yeah, but then when does it count as 2 visits to his office if he leaves the building for lunch and then comes back?
Oh my God, Nick! You don't have to win everything with Scott.
Is this
I was
history
thinking-
still
I
ongoing?
was yes. Shut
A
up.
pissing match.
Well, Nick. Technically, you start
Can I
your
finish
ride
reading the
at
history
Moosehead
now?
and ended at
Please.
Moosehead,
Can
so
I
that
finish
counts as
reading the
2.
history now? Can I finish now?
Please.
In 2018, Moosehead opened their small batch brewery adjacent to the main brewery in St. John to experiment with brewing new recipes as well as bringing back old classics. Some old classic beers that have returned in its approximation of Susanna Olin's first beer, the October Brown Ale, as well as long discontinued classics such as 10 Penny Stock Ale and the London Export Stout. Other beers from Moosehead include Moose Lager, Moose Light, Crack Canoe, Alpine Lager. Scott has that one on hand to hold up. Moose Pale Ale, Moose Dry Ice, Moose Radler, and Grapefruit, Lemonade, and Dragon Fruit, and Cranberry, a whole bunch of different varieties. Neon, Dragon, whatever that flavor was. Moose East Coast IPA, which is their New England style IPA that they've actually had some reasonable success with. The Hop City craft line of craft beers. So if you see the Hop City ones like Barking Squirrel, there's a whole bunch of different James Ready. There's like 4.0, 5.5, 6.0, and there's also many more beers from them. So Moosehead's tonight's beer, Moosehead's Chelada Lime and Salt. Holding it is a 4% ABV Mexican style lager brewed with a squeeze of lime, a dash of salt, and a light lager. Released in April of 2023, so last month, it is pitched as a refreshing, sessionable summer staple.
How could it be a summer staple if it was just launched last month?
They decide what the summer is
They
to
decide-
us and how we interpret it.
Nick, you need to set a timer and read these histories out loud before these start. That was the longest one I've ever heard, man.
We have a
No,
wealth of
you're just
information
not high
here.
enough right now. Okay,
Yeah, no,
so
I've heard longer. He was probably super high during several of these histories, and that's why he doesn't remember how long they are.
all right, so
it's just the way I am.
So I guess this will be a lightning round because I don't think any of us, well, some of us might have experience with this, but let's start with Lee. I mean, what's your experience with this beer so far?
Yeah, I'm kind of just drinking it right now. I mean, I've had Moosehead Lime, and I mean this isn't too far removed from that, but I mean, I'm not going to say that Moosehead just like, you know, hey, we got a bunch of moose lime left over, let's put some salt in it. I'm not going to say that. But you know,
but you did say that.
I didn't really say that though. No, if anything, I'm just kind of like
saying that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
You
not
did
saying
say
that.
that. You did say that.
I'm not saying that they just had a bunch of leftover moose lime and they put salt in it. Yeah,
just thinking out loud.
And then you just did again.
Let the record show that Scott said it.
I feel like I have not made any affirmative, accusations or declarative statements yet. So we'll get to declarative statements later, but I haven't had any yet.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, so let's go to Greg, Mr. Green Shirt.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Greg.
Well, I mean, this is cans 4 and 5 from the 6-pack. So that's my history. Out of curiosity, I just typed in Chelada. It is spelled the same way. And just to see what other Chelada. I wasn't sure if I ever had any other Cheladas from Moosehead. Apparently, I did have a Bud Light Chelada. Now, I don't know if the camera will catch this, but this is my Untapped review because Joe actually sent it to me way back in the day. Because anyone read this?
Yeah, fuck you, Joe.
Yeah, I had one thanks to Joe too. I think.
Appropriate response.
And there was there's the other version of it, and you'll see the review went pretty similar way. That was their Clamato. That was their Clamato Chamada. I can't pronounce the damn word.
Chamada.
So yeah, typing in Chamada into that's my only Chelada experience I've had, other than my history with this.
I think the echo might have come back a little bit. I don't know. But
hold on.
Alrighty. So thank you, Mr.
If only Scott had some knowledge in the IT industry, he'd be able to fix it.
Troubleshoot his issue. He manages people to troubleshoot his issues for him. He doesn't do troubleshooting himself.
Yeah. So why don't you manage Nick to fix it for you?
Why don't we have a charity fight where Nick and Scott hash out their issues in a box?
There we go. Carry the ferry.
Carry the ferry.
Oh, beautiful.
With almost more like Carry the Giant with a ferry. Like that. There's no wings. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Well, you're tricking people. They don't know what's underneath. There's
room for improvement. This beer, I am on can number 6.
I mean, I've always felt with you, Carrie, there's a lot of room for improvement. So that picture is just true to life.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that.
So you're on can number 6, but you gave one of them away, didn't you?
Well, that's the thing. I had 2 left in the fridge and forgot to bring them with me to work today. So after work, I'm like, I'm not going to come all the way home, then go all the way across town. I just went to the liquor store, and luckily they had one more 6-pack. So I bought a 6-pack. It's tasty. But yeah, so I gave Lady Lee one of the new 6-pack, and I drank one of these when I got home from work, and I'm now drinking the last of the original 6-pack. So that is my history with this beer.
There we go. We have a journey.
Thank you, Carry the Ferry. All right, so let's who's next? We have the Moosehead employee.
Not yet.
Almost.
Not yet.
Are you allowed to disparage their Are you allowed to disparage their product tonight, or have you already
contract?
Oh, you've already agreed to it. Okay, so
right,
how great is this beer, Scott?
Don't like it. Not your thing.
No, let's talk about history. I'm on can 12 of 12.
Oh, wow.
Yep, I've drank all 12 of my 12-pack. It's the short, stubby ones. It's not the long ones.
Got the same pack.
Yep, because of your local.
Mm-hmm.
Learned something the other day that anything that is west of Toronto gets their beer from a different brewery than St. John.
Really?
Wow. Yep.
Did not know that.
So I would think that the fine folks of North Bay have got it from the subsequent smaller brewery that I'll be visiting this summer.
Where's that located?
Where's that located?
I don't know.
Where's undisclosed?
Yeah, I don't think he could say that. But I would assume that Moosehead's quality control is probably in place in said brewery, so you're probably getting mostly the same product, if not exactly the same product.
They're probably renting out a fucking small portion of Collective Arts small city of a brewery they've got in Toronto or something like that.
It's probably just cool beer.
I think it's a full brewery itself. It's a small one, but it's a full one.
Like that's the thing. Collective Arts,
it's a Moosehead brewery.
You could partition off a corner of that building and still be like, "Oh my god!" Collective Arts is massive,
and they have a tiny ass tasting room.
It's so small. Oh my god!
So
Nick, why?
The history of this beer, I've had 11 of these beforehand. Like Male Lee said, it has that lime. I feel like I'm rehashing an old friend. So that's does have that lime taste in it. And someone pointed out to me today that moose lime is still a thing in another country in Europe.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's still a thing.
Are they? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
This is the first time I've reviewed the Chelada with the extra salt content.
Do you know if Moosehead is doing any brewing overseas? Do they have a brewery over there as well?
Moosehead doesn't have a brewery overseas, but I believe they have the same arrangement or agreement that we would have with other breweries that would brew in our, in Moosehead's brewery system, that they don't have to, transport beer across the ocean. So there's a few other brands that Moosehead brews for the North American market. So that of European and North America, other North American companies that they would brew in St. John to ship it out to this part of the world instead of having stuff shipped around, like cans of products shipped around.
Yeah, so basically in Europe, there's some contract brewing of Moosehead products, just like Moosehead does, like the Sam Adams over here, right?
Right.
It'd be funny if it's just like it's in Europe, they kind of forgot about it, and the Moosehead lime was just like they never
they never told them.
They just keep brewing it.
So
Maybe it's popular enough over there that it still sells,
or it's not popular enough and it's sitting on a shelf.
Mm-hmm. It had the newer labels though, like the half green, half white, the new style.
Yeah, that was a different label. You're right.
Yeah, they sent an email off to the company being like, "Can we get some updated labels for our shit?" And the people in graphic design, they don't know what beers are canceled where and stuff like that. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Here's some brand new stuff for you. I'll start printing that.
So now that I know this, I might have to find out through the grapevine who brews it over there and have it shipped to Canada.
If you do that, let me know.
Like cans of it shipped.
If you do that,
Nick was Moosehead lime. From what you're saying, it's no longer available here. What was it? Yeah. Was it a tasty beer?
It was a summer crusher for like 10 years ago,
and it was tastier. It was tastier than Bud Light lime.
Oh, definitely. It was definitely better than Bud Light.
That's not a hard thing to do.
No, it's not. But at the same time, it's Moosehead. Generally, Moosehead is going to be a couple gradients better than anything Bud is going to do. So
they are as they're skirting the line.
It was a nice crisp beer, crisp light beer with a nice almost like Fruit Loop lime kind of taste to it. It was actually quite addictive.
Nice.
Yeah, I used to buy it on hot summer nights and be like, fucking drink the whole pack.
When I heard they were when I heard they were discontinuing it, I bought like five cases of it and rationed it for like a year.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So alrighty. I might have to buy 5 more cases and ship it from Europe.
6 cases. Give them for me too.
And remember, Nick's is free.
Yep. No,
I'll tell you a little bit offline. I signed my beer contract today, so I'll tell you a little bit offline what I get for compensation on the beer side of the house.
All right. So thank you, Scott. We know your history is going to be quite extensive going forward.
It will be.
Yeah. All right.
Looking forward to all the free samples.
We have Lady Lee showing up. Hi, Lee.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I just been at home relaxing today, so it's been nice.
Nice.
I'm enjoying my summer off before I'm back in school again.
Oh, you got another year, do you? Or?
2 years, because I'm in teachers college. Come September.
Yeah, all of her work in previous school was to get to teachers college. So no, she's
cool. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that teachers college is in North Bay.
Yeah, Nipissing.
Nice. Oh, Nipissing. All right. So tonight's beer. What's your history with it? Do you have any?
I was gonna take it for my beer last week, but I decided not to and went with a different one. That is my history.
All right. There you go. And
I saw it on the shelf.
Fantastic.
That's it.
It's on the shelf, and then Carrie brought you one, I think, didn't he?
Heck yeah, I did.
Yeah, I had I had a beer fairy come drop beer off for me, so I didn't have to get it myself.
Wow, it got brought to you by boat?
That was well played, Greg.
All right, by a boat. It came by boat. All right, so my history with this beer so far is that I think this is like my third or fourth can. I don't want to give too many spoilers into what I think of it, but let's just say that I'm excited to actually do this episode tonight. So, all right, so who wants to volunteer to read some comments, considering we got a whole bunch of them?
I'll do it.
All right, Lee's
all right. So, starting off, of course, we saw Jamie C saying, "Hey guys," and he's asked Carrie the Fairy, and of course, we all had to laugh because now we have two memes with Carrie because he could be a fairy or a fairy.
Wow.
Then we have someone called Ty saying, "Hey, big boy."
This is a one of my coworkers from work. Actually, I was talking to him today and let them know that this was happening, and he wanted to check it out. So he's talking to me. Hey, big boy.
Okay, well, I mean, you know what?
You are the big boy.
I'm happy for both of you, Carrie. That's really sweet. He says review Bud Light. Redbeard says we've done that. LOL. Cheers, buddy. Then Jamie C says nice stereo. That's in relation to Lady Lee's boombox that we saw that we were commenting on while she was gone.
Yeah.
Then Ty asks if our Bud Light review produced a 10. And he says it was not. LOL. And then Ty apparently seems very crestfallen about this.
Most of my coworkers are pretty hardcore macro drinkers. So yeah.
Well, hopefully, slowly but surely, you'll lead them in a better direction.
I'm gonna do what I can. Like I might be hanging out with them Saturday night potentially, so I might bring some what do we call it? Transitional craft beers.
Just
triple IPA.
Yeah, just go hardcore. Triple IPAs, hazy, crazy bullshit right out the
balls
asshole.
deep and no lube, basically.
Yeah.
They might take one drink and then just be like, no, and I'll just get to drink more beers.
Now we got Dan, Western Canadian reviewer. You know, the guy who's too good to be here tonight. He can get every beer in the world, but he can't get fucking Moose Light Chelada lime thingy. That sounds good, better than the Radler that I found. Which, whatever. Yeah. Just stop talking about the beers you found. Talk about the beers you can't get. You know,
just got a regular Moosehead, put lime and salt in it, and boom, you're on the show.
Yeah, you could have come. You could have shown up. Beers for Days says cheers. Beers for Days. Nice to see you again. Ty says as long as it gets me drunk, that's all that matters. Hey, that's a good way to go.
Then drink ethanol.
And I can't deny what he says. The next, like Bud Light, it does. It's like drinking.
I thought it was water.
It's like drinking slightly beer flavored water.
It goes down like water. Yeah.
I mean, what's the similarity between Bud Light and fucking in canoe?
They're both in water.
And it's making love in a canoe. By the way, you fucked it up.
Sorry.
Well,
Scott.
But honestly, though, when you think of the logistics of having sex in canoe, that's probably going to be fairly uncomfortable. I'd rather just like do it in a bed. Thanks.
They're for
the joke, Lee.
They are quite
Shut
tippy.
Up, Lee.
They are quite tippy.
You're better off to go in the water and have sex in the water.
Again.
As long as you don't get an air bubble up the lady's vagina and she has a brain embolism.
That's a wives' tale. That doesn't actually happen.
I don't think that's how the circulatory system works.
No, I'm pretty sure I heard that in the 90s and it's real.
You Google it.
I like how you said it's a wives' tale and not an old wives' tale because they don't.
Yeah,
because
they don't get old.
They don't get old.
I know a friend of a friend who fucked another friend and they died of a brain embolism from having an air bubble in their head.
Oh my god!
It's probably best that the girl just doesn't even wash for like a week after sex. That way, just no chance.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So okay, wait, just straight up question, Lee.
You're just discovering this today.
Yeah, Lee.
What about all the gays with the penises, the insides of the bum not have any brain aneurysm air bubble stuff going on?
No, it only works for
what?
Do you know how many gay men have died from brain embolisms?
I do not.
Well, ask your local preacher because I'm sure that's a talking point from one of them. Yeah, no. Well, just for clarity for the people watching, in case they're a little bit stupid, I'm not a fucking rube. I don't actually believe that's a thing. That was a joke. Thank you. Try the veal. I'm here all week.
He's not a skinhead by choice.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not. Well, technically I am in a way because I don't want to look like a fucking idiot with a bad hairline.
Greg almost looks like he has a bit of a mohawk or something right now.
Yeah, I know. My hair is growing out in the way that it kind of looks a little weird.
No, Greg's going to be me in a couple of years.
Greg has got the ultimate widow's peak, is what he
That's
has.
true. I've had it. I've had this since I was a kid.
We've
really
grow a unicorn horn.
We have not even talked about the beer yet.
I mean,
well, no, that's when we give our final thoughts. Nick gave his 8-hour-long history, and then we talked about our history.
It only feels longer, Carrie.
Oh, Jamie! Apparently, I almost convinced Jamie C. For a moment there, I thought Lee had the stats on that. Wow. Maybe I should become a conservative commentator. Maybe there might be some money in that. You know, I could be the next.
You want to check your local grocery store for tinfoil.
I could be. I could be the Canadian Ben Shapiro. I could come up with all kinds of.
Fox is hiring.
You guys do the companion podcast to Daniel Harper. Your podcast would be called "I Do Speak German."
There you go. That'd be the grift. I'd do it.
My beer is gone. I feel like we should.
Fox fired their last host, Lee. So,
oh yeah, I Tucker Carlson. I got your job, bitch. I'm coming for you.
There we go.
All right, we ready? We ready to do some final thoughts here?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Tucker was bigger than the network.
All right, there, Lee, go for it.
This is good. It doesn't taste much like beer. It basically does just taste like Bud Light Lime with salt, and it's a good thing. It's refreshing. It's fine. Like, I'm not going to go as crazy as Nick has been in the previous week saying, "Oh, it's a Goza." No, it's not a Goza. So it's not even close to it.
No, it actually tastes good.
Yeah, it's not even, dude. It's not anything close to like approximate, like a fucking good Goza. It's just a beer with like salt and lime in it. Call it a Mexican style lager, sure, I guess. Like whatever that means. I don't think the jury's come to a conclusion on what a Mexican lager technically is. Mexican style lager technically is. It's fine. I like it. I'll have no problem finishing the rest of the 12-pack. It's enjoyable. It's refreshing. It's light. The lime taste is good. It doesn't taste artificial at all. So I like that. Like it feels like, I wouldn't say it feels like freshly squeezed lime, but it's like, the lime juice you get out of the little fake plastic limes you buy in the grocery store kind of thing. Like kind of that idea, right? And the saltiness is just enough. It's not like super salty. It's not something that's going to turn you off from it. It's a perfect like hot weather drink. It works in that regard very well. So, style wise, I don't know. How do we grade this as a style? Like lime beer or?
I guess it would be like a lime and salt chelada, like exactly as, because it's the first one you've had of it, this style type thing. Or do
we go like flavored lager? Like,
I think it's just a category of its own.
Okay, so
say flavored beer.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the thing I do whenever I encounter something I haven't had before. I go with the safe bet. If I like it, I give it a 7. That's like, so it's like it puts it at would buy again, and there's room for improvement. And so 7 for style. Personal preference, I'm going to throw a 7 at it too. I think I will buy this again. I do like it. It's very, very refreshing and good. It's don't make any mistake. It's not really. Well, it is a beer, but it's not really like go-to beer. It's just a refreshing drink, and I like it. And I'll leave it at that.
Were you able to buy just one can?
No, I had to buy a 12-pack.
Oh,
but I am not. I was initially like sort of pushing against it. I was like, Nick, do I have to buy a 12-pack of this shit? And drinking it tonight, I'm like, I'm okay with buying the 12-pack. That was actually a good purchase because I like it that much. So
he's not going to kill me.
And you're supporting Scott.
I am.
I'm eating Hungry Myers mouse.
I expect a kickback from his paycheck. That'll be good.
I pay you in beer.
Hey, that's the kickback I want, baby.
The kickback. Pack of beer. Kickback. All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Mr. Gorg.
Hey.
Hi.
So,
hi, Greg.
These two are done, and I'm on my last one of my 6-pack. So, I'm definitely testing if this is a good session beer, and overall, it's been pretty good. I mean, I'm actually a little surprised because earlier Scott was spending a lot of time disparaging this beer to me, telling me how terrible and awful and like piss it was. And frankly, Scott, I got to say, I disagree with you. I mean, you're entitled to your own opinion. It's probably before you signed your contract anyway. But you know what? You're entitled to your opinion. I disagree. I'm actually quite enjoying this. So as a session lager, because I'm always looking like, what is a great pool beer? And, to be honest, I almost think Compliments Blonde is probably the ultimate pool beer because you can drink like 8 of them and not feel like shit for the rest of the day.
And not drown in your pool.
Well, yeah, that's another good one. But this is pretty good. I mean, it's only 4%. It's pretty refreshing. This does go down pretty quickly, but it's actually got, reasonably good flavor. I don't think it's anything like a Goza, and I hate Gozas, generally speaking. They are salty piss, as is my name down there. There we go. But now with lime. That's what Gozas are. And this is actually very tasty. It's, it's pretty simple. I mean, it reminds me of Bud Light Lime. I back in the day, but although I haven't had that in years, so I imagine this is probably much better. It's just my memory of that beer is this. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got nothing. But the only thing I'm going to say is a session beer. The lime to me after 3 beers is getting a little bit. I feel like I feel a little acidic, so that could be a potential problem. But otherwise, I mean, it's kind of like a light margarita almost. Like it just kind of has that salty, citrusy taste to it. Just, I got no complaint. It's a good beer. I mean, I'm going to rate this as a lime beer, and I'd actually have to go back and look what other lime beers I've had, but this one's good. It's nice and refreshing. Do they actually have ingredients on this beer? They don't. Does any of you Moosehead smart people know, does this have real lime or is it just simulated lime flavor?
I'm going to assume it's simulated, but I mean, if it is, it's really good simulated lime flavor.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It has a really refreshing crispness to it that normally you don't get with the simulated flavor. So good for you if it's fake, and if it's not fake, good for you as well. I don't know how well lime would handle being stuck in cans and left on shelves for months.
The salt has to be legit. So
I would hope so. God, I hope you're not simulating salt. So you know what? In terms of a flavored lime beer, pardon me. I'm gonna give it a 9. It's probably about as good as one I've had. I can't really recall any others that I have had that are better. So,
and if you buy a 12-pack, you're lucky enough to get like the butt plug fucking glass. That's great.
Let's increase that score to a 10 out of 10, baby.
And you probably could shove. You actually probably could shove this up your ass too, because it's actually got some heft to the glass. It's not one of those cheap fucking thin glasses they sometimes put out in packs.
Well, I'll see you at the next Quispamps' piss up.
All right, sailor.
Anyway,
so
you know what I get? I gave it a 9 for style, my own personal preference. I'm feeling a little generous, so I think I'll go up to an 8 on this. I don't think it's it doesn't blow your mind or anything, but you know what? It's a very good limey, salty beer, and for summertime, I think it would be really good. I do think after having currently about 2.5 of these, I probably would not want to have another one just because I do feel the lime kind of acidity kind of building. But otherwise it's pretty solid. Have maybe 2 of these on a nice sunny day, and I'm not even feeling the least bit drunk. So yay! Yay! So a 9 and an 8, Mr. Lowe.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Boloski. Let's go over to Mr. McEwen and see what do you think there, Gary, the fairy.
This was a pretty good go. This is a pretty tasty goes. I gotta tell you, it was maybe it was nice.
Like, you shut your dirty mouth. It ain't no goza, you fucking red bearded bitch.
Wow.
To be honest, I do get a little bit of a goza thing from this. It's there. It's not. It's goza adjacent. I don't know.
Look at Goza the Gozerian over here.
If I could remember a line right now, I got nothing. But it's damn tasty stuff. Very surprised by it, to be honest. It's limey, it's salty, it's just thirst quenching. I could drink 1,000 of those on a patio on a hot summer day. I'm gonna just echo Greg. 9-8.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good.
9 on the Goza scale, by the way, not the lime beers.
9 instead of the style of Goza. All right. Thank you, Carrie. Let's go over to the Fuzz. Mr. The Fuzz.
All right.
How much do you want to disparage this beer?
I can say I don't like the beer. I just can't disparage the beer.
Okay, there you go.
So I've been begging them to bring back the Moose Light Lime. I truly enjoy it. And they won't. I know they won't, because they've told me that they have such a lineup of beers that the Moose Light Lime isn't set to return for a little while. So they have their beers planned out quite long in advance.
Need to fix their computer glitch and move it up the line a little.
That's right. For this beer, it has that Moose Light taste. They added the lime, and then they added the salt.
Wow.
Back in the day, yeah, I know. Right?
Really?
Back in the day, I used to visit bars, and you could smell the lime at the end of the night, like it was on the floor of the bar, and it had a very limey taste to it, or limey smell to it.
The floor had the limey taste.
Yeah, the floor. When you get knocked over, your mouth is like, you taste the lime that's on the floor. And especially in the winter time, where they put the salt on the sidewalk, you get that salty, limey, old stale beer taste.
Jesus.
I am not saying that this beer's
painting a picture here.
I am not saying that this beer's like that. It's more refreshing. It's a good product from Moosehead. I've tried other Cheladas before. I would say this would be the better one of them. I will give this an 8 for style. For personal preference, I cannot give it as high as a mark. I do like it, but it's not something that I would go out and buy a 12-pack to take up to the camp with me. I will give it a 6.
Oh. That is not complete fail. All right. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Let's go over to Lady Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hello.
Hello.
So, there's enough of us here that I feel like all my thoughts have already been said, but I really enjoy it. It said that it's a summer beer, and you can totally tell that it is. It tastes pretty much like a margarita without the tequila. So it has all those similar tastes. It just doesn't have that awfulness of tequila.
We need to try good tequila.
I can't do tequila anymore. My body rejects it now.
Ugh.
Yeah. I tried so many times, and my body, like, even if I'm sober, my body's like, nope, get that out. You're going to throw up right away. Like, I have an aversion to it. Anyway, this is delicious. I love the salty taste. I'm very big with like drinks with that like salty taste to it. So this does it very nice. It's not too salty where you like kind of feel it. It's just that nice like hint in the background. Lee was saying that the lime taste is pretty good, and I agree. I taste like the one that you get from like the bottles, like the actual lemon juice that's from the bottle. That's kind of reminds me of like as if I just took a drink and was like, here's some lemon or lime juice and here's some salt, and this is what it created, because it pretty much tastes identical to that. With that said, that combination alone is something that I do enjoy. I really do enjoy like lime flavored stuff. Like I put lime in my water. I like the lime drinks and all that stuff. So these are two ingredients that coexist very well in this beverage. They just taste really good together. So I think I'm a little bit bigger of a fan compared to everyone else. I'm gonna say style wise, I feel like I'm gonna be like, I don't know, it does exactly what it is. Like, so I'm just gonna give it a straight up 10. Like it's exactly
Nice.
It's a lime and salt beer, and that's what I taste. I taste lime and salt. Like it's there. Like I wouldn't want to change the flavors in it because I feel like it would just either be too much lime or too much salt. So I like this. And personal preference, I'm going to go with a 10 as well, just because it's two flavors that I really enjoy, and they're combined very nicely.
The internet froze her.
Anyway, yeah, two flavors that are combined really well.
Who's working for Moosehead now? Like,
yeah,
did the wrong person?
I was going to say the Moosehead employee gave it the lowest rating here.
Well, there's other Mooseheads. This is
he's probably a plant.
And then the rest are we going to be like, oh, I don't like this. No, this is just something that's right down my alley. It's just everything that I like, and they did it perfectly well. So,
do I have a marketing job for you, lady?
Yeah.
You could be the new Moose Girl.
Go to teachers college in September.
I didn't say it was a permanent job. Is this
student job?
You can do both at the same time. You can be the Moose Girl and a teacher.
The Moose Girl.
The Moose Girl.
I have a deer on my shirt.
Oh, you're almost there.
Almost there. It's moose. All right. So that's everything, Lee? Or...
Yep.
All right, awesome. Glad you liked the beer. All right, let's put me up front, right, and center here, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts. And for once, I actually didn't write things down because I'm pretty sure I can get this one spot on. And the first thing I want to say is that from the very moment I opened up the can, and I'm playing into Scott's nostalgia of Moose Light Lime, and because I like that was a Summer Crusher beer from the moment it first came out. I didn't buy quite as much of it as Scott did apparently, but I loved that beer. That was always one like I'd buy that and keep that in the fridge and be like a Summer Crusher. Just like anytime I wanted just some light beers to just chug back and then just like all one brand macro kind of thing, it would be that. That was like my go-to. And then sadly they discontinued it. From the first moment though, since I opened up this can and just took a whiff of it, I'm like, oh my God, there's that nostalgia. There's that Moose Light Lime, the same lime profile, the exact same lime profile that I used to get out of that beer and that I knew and loved. And to talk about, yes, it does really remind me of the little things of lemon or lime you get at the store, and most specifically
exactly
this real lime from these guys. It's almost like maybe they signed a contract with real lime, and then they provided the lime juice from concentrate. So it was it really reminds me of that. And the other thing, when I first had this, I'm guilty of saying that I think Moosehead wasn't trying to create a Goza, but they inadvertently created one of the like a really damn good lime Goza. In this kind of situation here, I do get it. It's not actually a Goza, so forgetfully. Yeah, because I mean, Gozas usually have like wheat included, and so it doesn't have it's thin in texture. It doesn't really have the same body that you would get. The flavor profile is kind of what I was thinking of, where you get this like really delicious, tasty lime, a hint of salt, and a nice tart sour beer. Like comparing this to Moose Light Lime from back in the day, Moose Light Lime wasn't this sour, and I think that might hurt its refreshing character just a little bit, but God damn if I don't love this beer as the way it is. This is really super tasty, and I'm struggling to keep the last little bit of my glass here just to finish this episode off.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
what a resounding.
That was awesome. That worked out well.
Nick's so nervous he's choking.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh shit. All right, so yeah, like my final thoughts on this one, I'm gonna give it a 9 for the style. I really enjoy it, and I'm gonna give it 8 for overall enjoyment. And I totally wrote those numbers down before Greg and Redbeard gave their numbers. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be going back for more of this over the course of the summer, and I'll probably be sad when this one is discontinued as well. All right.
Yeah, after that coughing, I don't think Moosehead's going to offer you a job.
Who knows? I gave it a better rating than Scott did.
All right, so take away Scott's job.
Did Scott log off?
He doesn't want to be associated with you anymore.
Probably not. Anyway. Okay, so let's continue on, and let's Lee, do you want to read the rest of the comments while I do the maths?
Sure. Let's do
Alrighty.
that. Okay, so we ended with Jamie C saying thought Lee had the stats on that as far as the other discussion. PA Bird News, Paul in the chat says it's 12-pack you won't regret. Will there be a cuvee with gravy added, Greg?
Unfortunately not. I don't have any.
Jamie C was waiting for a chorus of cuvee as well.
Well, you know what? For you guys, one day in the future, we will have a chalet sauce and tequila cuvee.
I mean, if
maybe for Lady Lee's birthday.
Listen, man, if our commenters are going to put alliteration in the actual comment, a chorus of cuvee,
that is cool like that.
You need to do that. PA Brunus goes on to say, I have a feeling I would greatly dislike this beer, which is a comment I do not, I'm not surprised at all that Paul would say that. Don't like salty drinks, margaritas, and lime very much. Does it drink well room temp? At some time, the pool will
no beer
up,
drinks well at room temp. Fuck you, Paul.
Some do. You're wrong on that.
Most
all beer should start cold and then you let it warm up to see how it opens.
I am 100,000% agreed with you on that, Greg. But yeah. Some beers though they do continue to just be totally fine once they do warm up. Yeah.
But if this isn't in Paul's wheelhouse, that's totally fine.
No,
it's just not a thing. So we have SEN saying, "Isn't it cheating masking beer taste of lime and salt though?" I don't know how it's cheating if this is the beer it's labeled as.
Yeah, that's a weird like unless they they fucked up a batch of Moosehead and we're like, oh, if we put lime and salt in this, it'll be fine, and they saved I doubt that.
I don't even see how that happened. If you make a lager and it has brewing faults in it, you're not going to save it with lime and salt.
Yeah,
I get the kind of thing. What do you want to taste the beer in something like this? Because I feel like a lot of craft breweries interpretations of the beer being nice and clean and easy drinking on the macro side of things tends to not get in the way of the flavors of like lime and salt in this case. So like if you were to get one of these from like a macro brewery, it'd be all bready and shit.
Right.
This is also one of those beers too that allows variety for people. So when you have somebody who's like the standard lager drinker and then you have somebody who doesn't, they might come more in agreement in something like this. So it opens up the market to be like, hey, we got a summer drinker. Hey, we did something where people will buy in masses because more people will gravitate towards it than just like one person who's like a hardcore beer fan and then somebody else who just doesn't like beer. So it just kind of opens the door for more.
Well, yeah, it's like Steam Whistle, even like somebody that just made the one beer forever, and finally they realized, you know what? If we finally stop being idiots and make some different varieties of stuff, more people might gravitate towards our brand. That's what it is. This is the lime. It's a summer crusher, and it's gonna sell. Like I bought the last 6-pack of the Downtown LCBO. A week or 2 weeks ago, last week I bought the first one I bought, and the shelf was packed. It's selling. They're doing it's it's tasty shit.
Yeah. So like I'm just gonna dismiss SEN's next comment. They can sell you whatever. Like I'm just not gonna accuse Moosehead of doing that, because if they had made a bad lager, you're gonna taste a bad lager no matter what. Like honestly, it just tastes like Moose Light with lime and salt in it. Like that's kind of what it is.
A certain local brewery here in my hometown may have. I'm pretty sure they were making a maple beer and also making sour beers on site, and one of those little lactobacillus. Woo! I'm going to jump into this beer. Oh, we made a maple sour beer. Let's ship it out. And a certain rhino that may be albino went to crack it open, and the entire top of the can blew off and just exploded everywhere.
Right. No, yeah, breweries do it. Don't get me wrong. Breweries do fuck shit up, but I mean, I don't think this is the case at all. Like, this is a decent beer.
They were looking for something for the summer. Like, this was a
this was planned to be. I don't get any faults of any kind.
And maple and also maple beers. Maple beers, you really got to be careful because they fuck up super easy.
Well, anything with that extra sugar in it is dangerous.
Paul goes on to say Moose on the Goza, Easy Nick, and Bubba Sadie says, I'm in Florida, and even with exchange rate, Lee is a grumpy bistach.
Bastiche.
And
going for almost kind of the Lobo insult, I feel like. He called everyone a bastiche.
I mean, I am a grumpy person, but I don't get the exchange rate comment. I don't know what that means, but it's fine.
We're going to need that joke explained.
I don't need it explained. I don't care. I'm going to just dismiss it. And then P.A. Bruno says, call it a barrel-aged sour and check up the price for Ewart, King of the Woods.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was King of the Forest, wasn't it?
King of the Forest, yeah.
King of the ass.
King of the Forest.
I think that's like the most famous example of a brewery just
that was fucking terrible. That was fucking terrible. It was a good thing that Ewart redeemed himself with the fucking the other one there, the
Shoots Black Tuesday or no?
Black Tuesday, wasn't it? Yeah. That was amazing. That's still one of the best beers I've
he
read.
brought that Schramm's or whatever mead.
He brought that to the. Well, I think it was the last beer. The
one saying positive things about Ewart now.
No, I'm not. But still, like
only the beer he brings.
His kids are gonna get run down.
Wow.
I know Redbeard likes the art. He doesn't respect the artist. That's what he's saying.
All right, everyone on your best.
It's just like R. Kelly.
This show is now going to become evidence. So everyone on your best behavior. Don't admit to anything criminal.
I have access to Zambonis now. I got like augers and shit.
Okay, just calm down, potential murderer. Albino Reno says, no one comes over to drink free beer anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Until you read that, I totally in my head, I was like, holy shit, Albino actually showed up and he's here. But no, then I'll believe no reason.
Yeah, no, here's the reason, because they don't want to get killed by a fucking polar bear.
No, but now everyone gets to go to Scott's house for free beer.
Or someone goes on the deck to take a pee. Some random neighbor mistakes them for a stray dog and kills you. Like
that too.
Did you see the thing from like Chad posted to Facebook that he actually did get chased down by a bear?
What?
He had to run back to the truck real fast to get in to hide.
Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah, I saw the photo. I'm like, holy fuck.
Paul goes on and says,
I gotta see this now.
Essie's comment is just a reiteration of the argument that Germans and Belgians were having for generations. Okay.
Whoa. Did not see that coming.
Yeah. And just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Help Lino Reno. Whoa. That's a bit of, there's some layers to that joke.
That's well played right there. That's well played.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff.
All right. So let's look at our ratings. Boom. Booyah.
Boom.
That's pretty damn impressive.
That feels good. I like that.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah. It's good stuff.
I feel like we've represented Moosehead, Chelada, lime, and salt properly for the market, for all the the market experts that watch this show on a regular basis.
For all mankind,
they will see this and they will know that we have the definitive score for beer whenever it comes our way.
I'll send this over to Andrew Oland myself.
There you go.
Right. Nice.
And then also send him Nick's resume. Nick needs to be a Moosehead girl too.
Well, here's the thing. I would be the direct hiring manager of Nick.
There we go. So you have to.
So that's why I would never get a job there.
That's why you would never get a job there.
No, you can just be like, Nick, I've never heard of Nick. Who is this Nick fella?
There
Let's
you
hire
go.
him. Hire Nick, hire Lady Lee. I'm
devoted. I'm already showing up in time for work there on Saturday mornings for the bike ride.
Sure, you hire Carrie as your regional Moosehead manager for North Bay.
I drink their beers all the time, and
I wouldn't hire Lee. He's a trouble, but everyone else is okay to be hired.
I would much rather hire a Lady Lee in North Bay than hire a Zamboni driver that works for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bubba Sadie says waiting for Redbeard to post a video. Redbeard on my Zamboni at Between the Bun.
Yeah, I don't. That would be a like.
You can't take that to the drive-through.
That would be a decent little drive on it by itself. And yeah, the Zambonis are very much not street legal.
Are you allowed to eat on the Zamboni? Like, could you do a food review of Between the Bun product on the Zamboni?
While it's sitting there, not while driving, obviously.
Well, what's street legal in North Bay? Don't they still have like horse and carriage and shit over there? Like, it's pretty backwards.
Yeah, and once winter hits, all the dog sled fucking people break out their sure, man.
And SEE says, "Well, that's high as far as our score goes." Have you had moose, lime, and salt Chelada? I don't know if you know that if that's high or not. I don't know if you're a good gauge on that. And then Paul says Nick could be Scott's Maniacs Lewinsky.
Monix? Just the S is supposed to be an A.
I had this problem earlier when I was doing a review. I read a fucking O as an A because the text is like the font for StreamYards is a little off. They have streets in North Bay with lines and everything. They actually do have that. Yeah. They started painting the streets when movie companies came in and started like wanting to make movies in North Bay.
Yeah, up until then it was just, wherever you judge it. Yeah. So somebody might drag their foot or something down the middle of the street once in a while just to try. But
so let's kind of close these things off and just mention nobody's asked the magic question yet. So
what the hell?
I just want to put that out there. Nobody's asked the magic question yet.
And a number of the viewers right now are pretty kind of faithful viewers.
They're doing pretty well.
Yeah, we got a good.
Actually, have as many
there
viewers as
he
people on the
is.
channel.
Paul comes through.
Paul.
All right. So
wow, we got like 3 of them at the same time.
Beers for days is actually.
All we have to do is beg, and they give it to us.
That's pretty much it. But
I love how we're at that point where it's just like, that's awesome.
Nurse Week's Burr. All right, so next week's beer is going to be a BYOB doing hometown beers. So a beer from your hometown. Sample Moosehead, Radler, because they're from my hometown.
Oh God, how will I find the beer from Toronto?
Yeah, you're just gonna have to go more than 5 kilometers away from your house, there, Greg.
Oh dear God, no, I'm done. This is my last episode, guys.
You're gonna have to get your Corvette into the garage.
I can't.
No, it's all over.
It's literally blocked.
Greg's gonna
miss next
week's
Scott
episode.
froze. Oh, he froze on his face doing the funniest thing.
Yeah, Scott.
So here's a question just to break it down. Hometown, is it where you live currently? Is it where you kind of grew up? Is it where you were born?
Okay. Either or. That'd be open to your interpretation. So
if
Dan was to show up next week, because I know he's still listening probably because he's.
Fuck, there's a brewery in Alexandria I could have went to.
If there's a brewery in Alexandria, you bring a beer from there, or you can get a beer from North Bay, Or if Dan, he wants to show up, then he can get a beer from Victoria or Calgary. Scott, he's got Alpine, so he's already set. Greg, I just have to go to Toronto, man. Sorry.
You might be able to contact them. They might ship you something.
Paul's saying
Robinson, and I don't think so. It's really, really small.
Well, contact them and tell them what you want the beer for, and there's honestly a chance they might be like, oh yeah, free publicity. Here, have our beer. It's happened to me.
Well, if you want to join,
but you're a whore.
There's no harm in trying. You know what I mean?
Or I could just bring Bose because that's from my hometown.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's probably going to be more boring.
I have a question. Do I have to bring one from my hometown too? Because Alpine is not from my hometown.
No, you can bring it from St. John.
Yeah. No, you got to do it right.
Yeah, there is no brewery up in Charlotte. I'm like, there is. There is a brewery in Charlotte. If you can get something from Shiretown, you have to go all the way up there and back with a growler.
Because I'm thinking I got North Bay.
And their beer sucks.
this weekend, I'm going to Perry Sound and Trestle Brewing's there. And I grew up basically here and there between my mom and dad. So, and otherwise the whole where I was born thing, you'd get Dan to ship me some random beer from Calgary.
If he wants to join with a Tampa beer, if that's your hometown and you want to try and join us, then sure.
Yeah.
Hey, it could be fun.
Yeah, could be fun. Ping me on Facebook if you see me.
Although he just said he's in Florida. He lives here in North Bay. Is that your? I guess you're.
Oh, he's in Florida, but he's from North Bay.
Yes. Yes.
Well.
So he's from North Bay. I'm not sure why he's in Florida right now. Like he's mentioned he's in Florida. So
okay, well, you can join. Well,
your current hometown because you're out of the country. I guess why not?
How about like instead of hometown, just like where you're geographically located at that moment.
That could work, right? Yeah, he's from North Bay. Yeah,
just bring a beer.
Yeah, and don't be put off if someone on the chat asks you.
Oh, come on, Molly, show us your whisker biscuit.
God,
Jesus.
All righty, I think it's high time to take off.
Let's wrap this up.
Chris Peters killed those women, by the way.
All right, so thanks Albino Reno, thanks Paul PA Brutus, thanks Bubba Sadies, thanks Beers for Days.
Oh, his last comment, Cigar City. Nice. Sorry, Nick.
Oh yeah, do it.
Cigar City. There, if you can get Highlight, that'd be cool. Or I'm trying to figure what's the other good one from Cigar City. I don't care. Let's wrap this up. Let's
buy Moosehead products. Buy Moosehead products. Buy Moosehead products.
Wow. Buy Scott's penis.
Products. Buy Moosehead.